I have loved using the iPhone 12. It's my favorite phone right now. I've already discussed all about it and why I chose it over the iPhone 12 Pro in its full review, so make sure you watch that video as well. Anyways, for the past 4 to 5 weeks, I have been using the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is the best iPhone of the year, at least when looking at the spec sheet of all 4 models. Compared to the regular iPhone 12 or the 12 Pro, it brings a bigger display, a bigger battery, and a better camera sensor. So if you want the best-in-class iPhone of the year, this is it. But honestly, I was quite disappointed with Apple on how they failed to effectively differentiate their iPhone 12 lineups. I mean, there is really no such thing as an exclusive feature on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. With this, trust me, for most people, the regular iPhone 12 should be perfectly fine. Throughout my time with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, I felt it to be wide, bulky, and heavy, resulting in many instances of discomfort. That may be because of how small my hands are. It even outweighs and outbulks the Note 20 Ultra, a device that we all know revered for its boxy design. Personally, the iPhone 12 is the perfect middle ground when it comes to size and tactile feel among this year's iPhones. It is compact and holds a strong grip in the hand, but the 12 Pro Max is exactly the opposite. With this wide footprint and slipperiness because of the stainless steel frames, you're more than likely to drop the phone as well. Because of this, I would highly advise you to put on a decent case, which ironically makes it even more uncomfortable to use. Even when comparing it with last year's iPhone 11 Pro Max, the 12 Pro Max is bigger and even feels thicker, which may sound unusual because the 12 Pro Max is actually thinner than the 11 Pro Max. This is thanks to the flat boxy frames on the 12 Pro Max. Moving on, you may have heard about Apple's ceramic shield protection on the front of the display, which promises 4 times better drop performance than previous iPhones. But what's crucial to understand is that it is not scratch resistant, and within 1 week of my use, I got this nasty scratch on the display. So make sure to get yourself a decent tempered glass. Size-wise, you're looking at a 6.7 inches OLED screen on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which we're pretty much used to on Android smartphones. But the problem with this one is that iOS is not very well optimized for single-handed usage. Just take the example of Samsung's One UI or OnePlus's latest Oxygen OS, for instance. They both have very well optimized the UIs for one-hand use. With the iPhone 12 or iPhone 12 mini, it's not a problem, but with bigger iPhones like the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it is an issue. For instance, it's difficult to access the folders on the side when you are in the control center. Likewise, when you're wearing a mask, typing in the pin on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is really uncomfortable. And given the COVID situation, we are going to wear a mask all the time, so maybe the company could have given a side-mounted Touch ID just like the one on the new iPad Air 4. But that's not even a problem. The problem is Apple definitely needs to fix reachability and usability in its bigger iPhones. And I hope that the company brings out an update addressing the very same issue in its coming iOS versions. On the contrary, because of this big screen, content consumption on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is amazing. It's bright, vibrant, and a color-accurate OLED display. Pair it with an amazing stereo speaker setup, you are looking at one of the best phones for watching YouTube and Netflix content. Or Peacock content if you are the ultimate Office fan.
I like it.
Jokes aside, Apple is still stuck with the same old 60Hz refresh rate. While that's okay for the iPhone 12 and the 12 mini, I was expecting the Pro versions to feature at least 90Hz display, if not 120Hz. Why am I saying this is because with such a huge display on the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the most powerful smartphone chipset of 2020, the entire user experience would have been something entirely different. Especially on the gaming front, because the iPhone 12 series is already a beast when it comes to PUBG and other AAA games. The only thing missing here is the higher FPS, which would have been awesome. So I guess that's a miss. Anyways, let's get into the cameras now. In a bid to differentiate the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, the one area Apple felt was important are the cameras. As a result, the 12 Pro Max has a 47% larger sensor than other iPhone 12 series. This bigger sensor lets in more light, and because of that, you are getting a slightly better low light performance. Clicking nighttime images is also noticeably faster on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. However, there's not much of a difference between the images among the iPhone 12 series while shooting in daylight or in any ambient setting with enough lighting. Moving on, I also compared its cameras against the Note 20 Ultra. As you can see, the images from both the phones look incredibly familiar. Photos turn out relatively more natural on the iPhone 12 Pro Max on one occasion, whereas the Note 20 Ultra does the same in different instances. iPhone's superiority, however, becomes crystal clear when it comes to portrait images. From the bokeh effect to details to skin tone, I am fond of the portrait shots on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Hopefully, Samsung has found a way to improve on this aspect on the upcoming Galaxy S21 series. Anyway, because of the 2.5 times zoom lens, the portrait images turn out way too zoomed in, so be sure to stay adequately further away when taking one. Because of that, I'd like to see multiple lenses with different focal lengths on future iPhones. In terms of selfies, just look at these samples. You can already tell that the ones from the iPhone 12 Pro Max are better than the Note 20 Ultra, be it a normal or a portrait selfie. As usual, no other phone compares to an iPhone when it comes to videos. I've already praised the video capabilities of the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro. Add the sensor shift OIS technology and the bigger sensor on the 12 Pro Max, you can take even better and properly stabilized videos under day or low light conditions from this phone. And the ability to record and edit 10-bit Dolby Vision HDR videos in 4K 60fps. Literally no other Android phone is capable of this right now, neither recording nor editing Dolby Vision HDR videos. Additionally, the iPhone 12 Pro series also supports Pro RAW photos, which is missing on the smaller iPhone 12 and 12 mini. But throughout my usage, I felt no need to use it at all. That's because Apple's image optimization is more than enough for casual photography. Yet, you can make them better in the post by editing the raw images. Similarly, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, just like the 12 Pro, features a LiDAR scanner too. Although it does help in portrait shots, its primary use case is on AR applications. I found this really cool app called Polycam that can generate a 3D image of your own room using this sensor. This might come in handy for engineers, architects, or home renovation professionals. Despite all this, I do have one issue with its cameras. I often encountered random lens flare whenever trying to take photos with a bright light source like the sun or other indoor lighting equipment in the camera view. It's most likely because of how significantly the triple camera lenses at the back protrude. So to avoid this lens flare, I had to hover my hand above the camera. Regardless of this issue, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is definitely the best camera phone photo-wise and video-wise, and it's going to be interesting to see how the new Galaxy S21 series will compete against it. I will be receiving my sample unit of the Galaxy S21 really soon, and I will be comparing it with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, so make sure you subscribe to us. Lastly, let's talk about its battery life. Despite featuring a smaller capacity than that of the 11 Pro Max, I am pretty happy with its battery life. After a full charge, it lasts almost a day and a half, which is quite a lot in comparison to the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro. Talking about charging, while every other Apple product has shifted to using USB Type-C connection, it's pretty disappointing to see the Lightning port on an iPhone. I recently shifted to a MacBook after having used a Windows laptop for so long, and the USB-C and Lightning port inconsistency is really frustrating. Maybe that's an indication of future iPhones going completely portless, and that might also be the reason Apple bringing in the MagSafe charging mechanism. I did not buy one because of its price tag and how slow it charges. I thought the charging speed of a 15-watt MagSafe and a 20-watt wired charger would not be that much, but as it turns out, the former takes almost 3 hours. So honestly, I don't think it's worth the money. Also, if you're thinking of getting a 20-watt power brick for your iPhone, just hold on because you might already have a power delivery certified fast charger with you. For instance, I am using this 25-watt power delivery charger from Samsung, which is as fast as the 20-watt brick from Apple. To wrap it all up, after using the iPhone 12 Pro Max for a little over a month now, I actually am having mixed feelings about it. Yes, this is the best Apple has to offer right now, and it comes with premium camera features like Pro RAW, LiDAR, etc. Plus, it has a really good display, battery life, and best-in-class performance. However, these can be found in the regular iPhone 12 as well. And personally, I find the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro to have the perfect form factor. Besides the 12 Pro Max being bulky and heavy, the lack of iOS optimization on such a big phone makes for an irritating one-hand usage experience. Therefore, for most general users, the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro is the better option this year, unless you are set on getting a big phone. And this is the problem for Apple. Maybe they could have given something better to differentiate the iPhone 12 lineup. Maybe faster charging, smoother refresh rate, or a UI little different than it is. For now, the iPhone 12 Pro Max just feels like a bigger and more expensive version of the iPhone 12 Pro that totally sacrifices ease of use. Alright, that was all for our long-term review of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We will be comparing it with the upcoming Galaxy S21 series, so make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss out on the good stuff.